Buckle up, we're going back to the 1500s. Yeah! Okay, so there was this countess named Elizabeth Báthory. I'm gonna call her Liz. She was born in 1560 to a royal family in Hungary.
Hungry?
Like I'm hungry.
When Liz was growing up, she suffered from epilepsy. But back in the day, the treatment for epilepsy was different. The doctors were like,
oh, you have epilepsy? Here's what you need to do. Find a person who doesn't have epilepsy, stab them, take their blood, rub that shit all over your lips, and you'll be good to go.
But having epilepsy didn't stop Liz from living her best life. Unlike other nobles who couldn't read or write at that time, Liz was super educated. She went to school and she spoke 4 languages. Liz was like, si, oui, yes, I'm a boss bitch. But just like today, boss bitches in the 1500s were susceptible to what we now lovingly refer to as fuckboys. Liz met her first fuckboy when she was 13. He was a peasant, aren't they all? Yeah! And that peasant fuckboy got her pregnant, which is honestly such fuckboy behavior.
Do you text a woman back? No. Do you ghost woman? Yeah.
Anyway, the second that baby was born, Liz's parents snatched that half-peasant baby and Marie Kondo'd its ass. 2 years later, Liz's parents are like,
ugh, you've already had a baby, you're damaged, but we need to get you married.
So they set up an arranged marriage with another rich family's son, a guy named Ferenc Nadasti. Liz was like,
I'm more rich than you and I'm a boss bitch, so you're gonna take my last name.
Okay.
Nadasti is objectively the better name, but yay 1500s feminism. Not only does Nadasti take Liz's name, he also goes on to become a war hero, and he buys her a whole ass castle.
I'm impressed. You're not as pathetic and wimpy as I have always believed.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Now this is when things get shadier than Slim Shady and Shades. While Nadasti is off at war, rumors start running amok about his wife, Liz. Apparently, Liz would invite peasant girls from the town to come up to her castle, where she would torture and murder them.
Sleepover took a weird turn, huh?
Liz used to drain these peasant girls of their blood and bathe in it because she thought it made her look younger.
That bitch crazy.
All these girls kept disappearing, but because they were peasants, in 1604, 29 years after they got married, Nadasti dies.
Sad.
While he was alive, he was a big part of why no one questioned Liz.
You should really try to be more polite to people.
But after Nadasti dies, everyone's like,
what the fuck is going on here?
Everyone is aware of the fact that Liz has a little thing for torture and murder.
Not everybody needs a hobby.
After Nadasti dies, Liz is like,
ugh, I am so sick of poor blood. Get me rich blood!
Calm down, bitch.
So she sets up this fake finishing school for girls so these rich parents would send their daughters there. A bunch of these girls end up missing, and Liz is like,
oh yeah, your daughter, she committed suicide.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Unlike the peasant parents who really had no power, the rich parents were like,
we're rich. You can't just like kill our daughters.
So they go and they complain to the king. And the king is like,
I got you, homie.
So he summons this guy named Georgi Thurzo, another spectacular name. But Georgi happened to have been best friends with Nadasti.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup.
Georgi was conflicted because on Nadasti's deathbed, Nadasti was like,
promise me you'll take care of Liz after I die.
But then Georgi was like,
nah, you can't just be killing bitches and shit.
So he sentenced Liz to life in prison.
Bye, bitch.
In her own castle.
Can't believe all that bullshit, all that bullshit, all that bullshit.
It's estimated that Liz tortured and murdered over 650 girls. This bitch had way too much time on her hands. She's considered to be one of the most prolific female serial killers of all time.
Yeah, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.